Hi, we're going to start laying on your back today and figure out what time it is to begin this workout. All right, let's get settled in with your knees bent, feet flat, and a little space between your legs. Tuning into breathing, let's bring your attention to the bottom of your rib cage by placing your hands over your floating ribs with your fingertips overlapping a little bit. Start to take slow, rhythmic breaths, inhaling through your nose and feeling the expansion of the rib cage under your hands. And then exhale through your mouth, and we're going to make a little force like blowing out a candle. And observe how that helps you to gather your ribs back in towards the center of your body. As you breathe in, feel your ribs expanding, and your fingertips will start to pull apart as the sides of the ribs open. And then as you exhale, the sides of the ribs should gather together again. So it feels like your fingers are crossing again, like a zipper closing. When you breathe in, try to take that inhale with your tongue at the roof of your mouth, sending the breath deep into your lungs so you feel the back, sides, and front expand. And then one more time, exhale through your mouth. So you want to make it O shape with your mouth so you can get that little bit of extra force that helps you feel the deepest layers of your abdominals. Now, let's add a small rock of your pelvis back and forth from neutral to imprint. If it helps you to palpate, let's put your index fingers on your hip bones and your thumbs at the bottom of your ribs. Start with your natural curve present under your low back and take a breath in. When you exhale, you're going to tilt your pelvis slightly, rocking your pubic bone upward and drawing your hip bones a little closer toward your ribs. This is what we call imprint. And then when you inhale, you're going to rock back towards neutral, stopping when your pubic bone's about level with your hip bones, and we return that little bit of curve into your low back. So again, exhale, you're going to imprint, and I've just moved my arms out of the way so you can see because the motion's really small, and then inhale back to neutral. In the name of small, as you continue to rock back and forth with your breath, it should be so small that you don't have to move any other part of your body. If I exaggerate the tilt, it will tighten up my neck, or if I exaggerate the arch, it'll pop my ribs up. So you want to keep everything else neutral and just feel this little motion of the lower spine. Now, let's begin a hip roll with that tilt of your pelvis. So this time as you exhale, create the same imprint where you feel your abdominal muscles shortening. Then start to lift your hips from your glutes and your hamstrings, peeling your spine away from the mat. Now we're going to do this as an undulation today. So on the way down, come straight down, maintaining the arch in your low back. Exhale, roll yourself off. So we do it like a wave, coming through flexion back to neutral at the top. Then you're going to hinge at your hips to come back down. Exhale, roll off. As you're lifting, reach your knees towards your toes and then hinge back down. Exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, float your way back down. Last one. Roll off. Give a little pressure into your big toes and hinge back down. Let's reverse that. Take an exhale, lift your hips up to make your bridge, and then inhale to roll down through your spine. Come all the way back to neutral. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up. And then inhale like a wave, roll your way back down. Exhale as you lift. And then inhale, dropping one vertebra at a time into the mat. Two more times. Exhale, press up. Breathe in and just crumble, making space between each bone as you drop. Exhale up. And then inhale to roll back down. Arms up to the ceiling with your palms facing each other. Protract and retract your shoulder blades next. When you breathe in, reach your arms up a little higher, creating more space in between your shoulder blades. And then when you exhale, draw your shoulder blades back, going past where you started into just the tiniest bit of a pinch. Inhale, reach up. I say the tiniest is an actual challenge. What's the littlest amount of movement you can make while still knowing you did something? Inhale, reach up, and then exhale back. Okay, just to give you something to think about. Let's alternate that. Reach one arm into protraction. As you draw it back, reach your other arm up. Be careful to focus on keeping the same space between your arms. That's like easy to let that get sloppy when we're alternating. size wise, I always try to visualize about like the length of a paper towel roll of space between them. Now, make it a little bigger. All that focus on small. I want you to reach up higher so it starts to pull your ribs into a rotation, twisting you. And if you can, make it big enough that it brings your head. Make sure your gaze follows the direction you're being pivoted towards. Let's just do one more on each side. And then just settle your arms to even, but we're going to leave them reaching up to the ceiling. Now a set of toe taps. Rock into imprint so your low back's in that slightly flatter pose. Now try to maintain that. We're going to stabilize the shape. Take one leg to tabletop when you breathe in, and then your second leg up when you exhale. We're going to alternate tapping one foot down to the mat on the exhale phase of your breath. Inhale, lift it back up to the ceiling. Alternate legs on every repetition. This should be an abdominal focus exercise where you're using the power of your breath to compress your abs and help you maintain the imprinted position. Each breath, it should feel like a fresh challenge where you're sensing the breath being a little stronger than the weight of the leg. Now, to make it harder, reach both arms overhead as you toe tap down. Inhale up. Now, as more limbs reach away from the center of your body, that creates a bigger force pulling your ribs away from your hips. So now when you think about holding that imprint, think of the ribs and the hips having to work, contracting towards each other, one more on each side. Inhale up and exhale, tap down. Inhale, lift. Let's take your first leg down and then your second to come on out of this. All right, flip over into a kneeling position on your hands and knees next. All right, let's get to just a flat back to start, just like your table. And you want even weight right now between your arms and legs. You're just pushing away from the floor a little bit. Let's draw a horseshoe shape over your arms and legs. I want you to shift your body weight to your right arm and leg. Then you're going to shift backwards halfway toward your heels, swinging around to the left side and bringing the weight back up toward your shoulder. And we're just going to rock back and forth. All right, so once you get that swing motion going, bring your attention back into the alignment of your torso. Try to keep your head and your ribs and your hips even with each other and neutral the whole time. So I'm kind of sticking my butt out towards the wall instead of letting my sit bones tip towards my heels like I do in a child's pose. And I'm just going to do one more time. And you should be back where you started. Come into the center. Okay. There's an upper body plank family exercise where we transition from this type of arm down into a forearm plank arm. So we're going to do that a few times. Lead with your left arm over and over again so we're consistent. So you're going to drop down to a forearm plank, then bring your right arm down, straighten your left arm, then your right. And again, left elbow, left hand, right hand. One more time like that. Down, then up, up. Reverse it so we go down, right, left, push up, right, left. As you're doing this motion, there should be a little rotation going on in your rib cage, but I want you to keep your gaze down at the floor. One more time each way. Left leads. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Last time this way. And one more round going the other way. So now it's right, left, down, down. Check out your pelvis. Make sure you're still sticking out your sit bones. Up, up. And I will have you go back into a child's pose just so we get the weight off your wrist for a sec. Because we're going to do another kind of twist in a second. All right, this one, I want it to be small. I'm going to do a side view, and then I'm going to do this angle view first. That way, I wanted you to see kind of from the feet down. I'll let you get both. Okay. Brace into your arms so you already feel like you're pushing away from the floor and like pressing your rib cage against your shoulder blades. Toes are curled under. I want you to practice a knee hover like we would normally do it. You're going to push in your fingertips a little bit and then pick your knees up so you're shifting weight into your hands and your feet. Now you're going to stay in a hover, and we're always encouraging you to keep your knees really low. It's important you do that for this one, and then put your knees back down because we're going to do one leg at a time. One more time with both knees though. Exhale, press into your fingers, pick your knees up, and just let that weight shift back a little so you're on your toes too. Stay there to breathe in and exhale back down. All right, so now I want you to think about that alternating thing we just did with your upper body. Bracing into your arms, I want you to pick up your left knee, which requires you to rotate your pelvis. Now pick your right knee up so your pelvis goes back to level. You're going to put down your left knee, your pelvis is rotated, then put down your right leg. Okay, so I'm going to lift my left knee. Now my right one to come to hover. Drop the left knee, drop the right. Really small. Lift the left, lift the right, drop the left, drop the right. Ready to reverse it? Right up, left up, right down, left down. Right up, right down, left down. Last time. Right up, right down, left down. Sit back towards your heels. Now, I'm not going to do a second round of that because even though we didn't move a lot, that's actually a very powerful area for that area, for the area we were moving around your side joints. So we'll just let that be. Go back down onto your back on the mat. Let's do a little more ab work. All right, let's place your hands behind your head. And let's just feel out a couple ab preps, and then I'll add some variations to it. Angle your elbows forward a little bit. When you exhale, tip your chin down, curl up your head and shoulders so you're looking at your knees, and then lower back down on your inhale. Always begin by tipping the chin down to lift the head, and then keep looking at your knees so your head's the last thing to drop. Exhale, curl forward. So coming to like a more vertical head gets you more work in your abs, less strain in your neck. One more time like that. Exhale, flex forward, lower back down. Let's do 5 pulses. As you exhale, curl up. Now rock back a little and pulse. And 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come all the way down. We're going to go back to single crunches at a march of your leg. So you're going to lift the leg as you crunch, and we're going to keep doing the same leg. Lower it to a tap when you put your head down. Lift and tap. Exhale up and down. One more like that. Now let's do 5 pulses. Try to keep your legs still though. All right, rock back a little. Pulse up 1 and 2. I'm keeping a little slower so you can make sure you're really keeping that thigh still. 4, 5. Come all the way down. Lower that foot. All right, let's even you out. So back to the march. Exhale, crunch up and go to tabletop. Lower your head, tap your foot. Curl up. Try to stay neutral as you lift and lower it down. That's 2 points you have to focus on. Keeping your pubic bone heavy and the opposite hip down. One more single. Exhale up and then back down. Let's stay up for the pulses. Legs stay still. Pose it in tabletop. Rock back and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the way back down. Alternate marches. We're going to alternate an oblique crunch on this set. As you exhale, we're going to march the leg, rotate and flex, lower back down, and other side, and lower back down. Exhale to twist. When you combine rotation and flexion, one of your shoulder blades should come all the way off the mat. One more to each side, and lift and drop. Last one, and then back down. All right, we're going to do one leg circle next. On this exercise, I'm going to have you work with your stabilizing leg out straight, unless that causes pain in your low back, and then go to a shallow knee bend with your foot flat. And then I'm going to have you work with your air-legged tabletop and your arms by your sides. When we begin, you can stay with the tabletop leg or go to a 3/4 straight, but I don't want anybody to go to straight today. All right, on your inhale, the leg's going to come across the center line and down away from your head. Exhale out to the side and up to the top. You know, I love when I say a rule, like I have any idea what you do when you watch this video. Don't you dare straighten your leg. The reason I want that, though, if maybe if a cell would be better, is with some bend in your knee, it should be easier to get the release phase of your hip flexor. We could tend to hold gripping here because of gravity, so this lets you tighten up the back of your leg more so that you've got support there and we can release those hip flexor muscles. Let's go the other way. So we're going to take it out to the side and away from your head, bring it through the center and up to the top. And again, release it out and lower it, around and lift. 3 more times. Circle up, always keeping weight on that opposite hip, and lift. Last one, and then back up. Okay, keep this leg in the air. I want you to bend your gesture leg, cross the air leg over it, take your arms out to the side, and just rock your hips side to side a little bit. Okay, let's go to the other leg. So we're going to bring your arms back in by your side, gesture leg out straight or slightly bent as your back up. Get your leg to tabletop and make sure you're even left to right. Stay with tabletop or the 3/4 straight leg. Go towards the midline first, starting on your inhale, and then exhale to take it around and up. Breathe in to the back and the sides of your ribs. When you exhale, connect with your abdominals. Feel like it helps to hold you anchored at your midline. Inhale across and down. Exhale around and up. One more time. Breathe in, circle and lift. All right, let's go the other way. Inhale out to the side, down away from your head. Exhale around and back up. Breathe in, anchoring your opposite side a little heavier. Exhale, circle and lift. 3 more times. Use your breath in to encourage some release. Exhale, and we want to imagine breathing into that tight hip joint. Exhale around and up. Last time. All right, hold that in tabletop. Bend your other knee in, and then just drape that leg over the other one. Arms out to the sides, and let's just let the hips rotate. Just getting that nice twist going. And one more to each side, flopping and resisting with your arms out wide. All right, back to the center. Straighten your legs out on the mat. We're going to do the roll up next. Feet flexed, arms up to the ceiling. Let's just go halfway up first so we can work on perfecting that end of your sit up. First challenge, keep your rib cage neutral against the mat and take an exhale as you reach your arms overhead about halfway towards the floor. The weight of your arms is trying to thrust your ribs up, so the ab work is holding that down. Take your arms up to the ceiling when you breathe in. Then nod your chin, curl up like you're doing another ab prep. But now try to go a little higher using an imprint to get more lift. So I've moved my pelvis now. Then when you inhale, lift your arms up by your ears. And when you exhale, lower back down. So I'm releasing my imprint to start rolling down and continuing down till I'm flat. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale, curl forward. So right when you're at the bottom tip of your shoulder blade, try to tip up your pubic bone and come a little closer towards your pelvis. Now keep this much lift and lift your arms. Notice how it feels harder to stay still because you're holding more load back here. Exhale, lower back down. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, curl forward. I'm sorry I'm being dramatic. I'm just trying to drag out the time so we're holding it longer. Inhale, reach your arms back. Keep staring at your toes. Hold. And exhale, go back down. All right, if you're not doing the full roll up yet, keep doing that as a prep. Otherwise, let's add that into a full sit up. Inhale, arms up above your chest. Exhale, start to curl up. Wait for the pelvic tilt. Now use it to curl up in a C shape and come right up onto your sit bones. Arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, begin to roll back, tucking your tailbone under. Keep going, one bone at a time, one bone at a time. Unravel back to neutral, reach your arms overhead. Take an inhale, arms up over your chest. Exhale, nod your chin, curl forward, round to your legs. To get on your sit bones here, it's okay if you bend your knees, but do get all the way onto your sit bones. Roll back. Now exaggerate, tucking up your pubic bone, work through flexed feet the whole way down, reach your arms overhead. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, curl forward. When you're reaching forward here at the top, pull the abs back and then stretch everything forward. Roll back again. Unravel, reach overhead. 2 more to go. Inhale, arms up over your chest. Exhale, nod your chin, curl forward, round over your legs. Roll back again. And lengthen out flat, reach overhead. We're just going to go up this time. Take your arms up on your inhale, nod your chin, curl forward, look down toward your legs. Now, when you sit up tall, I want you to circle your arms around to the back, put your fingertips on the floor, lift your chest, and go ahead and just roll your shoulders back, just so we're getting bent the other way, and then come back to neutral. All right, let's go down onto your belly. Okay, to start out, let's work with your legs parallel and your elbows bent in by your sides. We're going to work from a hovering position. So you can use your forearms to push away from the floor lightly. So you're maybe like an inch or two off the mat, but still stare down at it. Now, our challenge here in a second will be to lift your arms off the mat and just stay in the hover without that support of your arms. And then put your arms back down, but stay in your hover. Okay, just do that 2 times. So exhale, compress your abs away from the mat, and then float those arms up. Keep that nice long line. Inhale, place them back down. Do that 1 more time. As you lift your arms up, notice how it increases the work of all the muscles around the shoulder blades, and then back down. Now we're going to try to keep that a little longer, and we're going to alternate reaching 1 arm at a time overhead. As you exhale, float those arms up to hover. Inhale, extend 1 arm overhead. Exhale, pull the elbow back down. Inhale, reach your other arm. Exhale, draw it back. First arm. Exhale, pull your abs in, keep your lift. Second arm. Make sure you're looking down at the mat, back of the neck long. 1 more on each side. Pull it back in and reach over. Pull it back in, lower back down. All right, let's turn that into a windmill. Same concept, you're going to stay in the hover. We're just going to move those arms a little differently. Come back up into your hover and reach your arms out to the side straight. When you breathe in, bring 1 arm into your hip, reach 1 arm overhead. And when you exhale, take them both out to the side. So a heavier load than before. Inhale, in case you didn't notice. Exhale, arms reaching out wide. Inhale in close to your sides. Exhale, open. Inhale, draw it in. 1 more to each side. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Be a tight tube. And open. Last time, squeezing and opening. When you come down, bring your hands on your forehead. All right, sorry, I gotta move my mic a little. I can't find a happy place for it today. All right, leave some space between your legs. You're gonna turn your toes out with your toes about as wide as the mat, give or take a little. Bend your knees and just check if your heels end up together, because I would like them to. And in this exercise, when you straighten your legs, we're going to lift them a little. Then you're going to put your knees down when we squeeze your heels together. All right, on your exhale, squeeze your heels in towards your tailbone 3 times like pulses. 1, 2, 3. When you inhale, extend and lift your legs, circle your arms around to your side, and lift your chest and head to see off the end of the mat. Come back in, head under your hands. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, circle and lift. Open the chest nice and wide, and then back down. Knees can hit the mat. Squeeze in 1. So you'll feel glutes and inner thighs. 3. Inhale, reach it nice and long. Now glutes again here, but picking up the whole weight of your leg. Back down, squeezing. 3, 2, 1. Circle around. Look for that nice broad chest at the top. Last time. 3, 2, 1. Big inhale, circle, sweep, and then all the way back down. All right, sit back onto your heels into a shallow stretch. And just stay there, focusing on breath again for a sec. Big inhale into your back. And stay for an exhale, drawing your abs in. Do one more breath in like that. And now when you exhale, I want you to tuck one arm in by your side. And then when you inhale, you're going to reach your other arm across you into a nice big side stretch. When you exhale, tuck that elbow in. And then when you inhale, you're going to reach the other arm across. Let's go back and forth a couple times. Exhale into your hip. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tuck. Reach up and over. One more to each side. And tuck and reach. And then back to the center and roll back up. All right, let's try a little side bend. All right, let's start all doing a couple shorter side bends, and then we could transition into a bigger one if you want to advance it. For the shorter ones, you're going to be balancing on your knees. So you want your hands about even with your knees, both legs stacked up on top of each other like a mermaid tail, and one palm up on your side. Initiate the movement by dropping your bottom shoulder to begin the side bend from that push. Lift your hips up, and then we're going to make a nice big rainbow, taking your top arm overhead. Then you're going to lower that arm as you come on down onto that hip with control. Let's do that again. I said we're going to do 2. Let's do 3. And then we'll do 3 ups to make a total of 6. Okay, so if that's as far as you want to take it, just hang for a sec, you'll do 3 more. If you're going to do the longer plank, we start with both knees turned out, top foot tucked into your bottom, top arm on top of your knee. All right, now your hand is going to come in line with your feet now, so you might need to wiggle it back a touch. When you exhale, initiate the same way. We're going to drop that working shoulder, shift your ribs, lift your hips, and come up into a side bend. And then you're going to bend the knees and let them turn out as you land it back down. And again, shift those ribs over, lift your hips, let your head fall towards your arm, and lower back down. One more time. Rise up, rotating the arm externally a little without moving your hand, and then lower back down. All right, let's swing your legs over to the other side and go back to that double stack and the hand even with the knee for the first 3 reps. All right, arms resting on the leg, fingertips spread out on the floor. Slide your shoulder down, shift your ribs over. We're exhaling to get your abs drawing in just to help you find that stability, and then sit back down. If you find it benefits you to breathe the opposite way is actually usually the normal way. Feel free. And then back down. Just be breathing. One more time. Squeeze your inner thighs. Activate your abs. Keep dropping that working shoulder and lower back down. All right. If you're transitioning to the other version, give yourself a little more room. Get one foot, ankle into the other, and then line that hand up more even with your feet. All right. When you exhale, go ahead, slide the shoulder down, shift your ribs over, lift your hips, side bend. Inhale to come back down. And again, exhale, up and over. Make sure you're dropping your head towards the floor, and then lower back down. And one more time, up and over. Squeeze those inner thighs, and lower back down. All right. Reach your legs out long in front of you. Spine stretch forward. You can work with your legs straight or a slight bend to your knee. Sit up nice and tall and take a breath in. When you exhale, drop your chin. Start to round forward, curling over your legs. Stay there for a big breath in, and then exhale, roll back up to vertical. I want to do that just 2 more times. I want to squeak it a little hard exercise. Breathe in at the top, but use this time to take a break from tense. When you roll forward, that melting sensation you get with your upper body might also encourage a relax in the wrists or the arms after what we've been doing. Breathe in at the bottom. So we still have a buoyancy if we breathe back there. And then when you exhale, you're going to support yourself coming up by rooting down into your sit bones. Visualize space between the bones as you come back up. Last one, big breath in. Exhale.